Many Americans never take into consideration our foster care system. Foster care is when a child is briefly placed with a family. This child could have been mistreated, neglected, or so much more. The Fosters is a series shown on American TV. It's about a teenager, Callie Jacobs, and her placement in a foster home with a lesbian couple. In their household, they have a blend of adoptive, biological, and foster children. Mariana and Jesus are 15-year-old twins who were adopted. Brandon is Stephanie's 16-year-old son from a former marriage. Last but certainly not least is a 13-year-old boy who is currently placed in an unsafe foster home that Callie was just previously taken away from. Peter Page wanted to demonstrate how many individuals in the system have no voice, and this show gives a voice to those kids so they don't have to put themselves out there as much. The Fosters was created to show awareness of what most foster kids have to go through, whether it's rape, abuse, or neglect. Callie is the main character overall in the show. She is first introduced being harassed by an inmate in juvie. She is being sentenced to the juvenile system because her half-brother Jude is being beat for trying on a dress in their 4th foster home. When Jude was being beat, Callie tried to jump in and help Jude. She got beat as well. The next thing she did was take a baseball bat to the foster parent's car to make him stop. He called the cops on Callie and stated that she was out of control and abusive. When she was being released, they introduced her to Steph. Instantly, when Steph met her, she took her home underneath her own care, only temporarily, so she thought. Callie was in juvie a couple other times for different accounts. Callie and Jude were put into the foster care system when their parents went for a drive drunk. These altercations was the reason why Callie's mom passed away and the reason why Jude's dad was sentenced to manslaughter. The main point that Callie was in the juvenile system is important because over 50% of children in the system at some point will end up going to juvie. Quote, one study showed that more than 90% of the youth in foster care will become involved in the juvenile system, Juvenile Law Center says. They are more likely to stay in juvie because it's an easier life to live in a jail cell than it is going in the real world being neglected. After about a month of being adopted by the Fosters, Callie made big strides in her life. She graduated from high school. She showed off her artistic abilities and expressed an interest in going to college to become a lawyer for the kids in the foster system, to make sure they get the same chances as she did, to make sure that they do not end up in the same houses as she did, and to overall help them strive for better. Quote, a study found that adopted children progress well both socially and emotionally. The vast majority of adopted children are reported as being excellent or even very good health, and almost all adopted children exhibit positive social behaviors, so said from the NSAP. This is significant due to the idea that being a foster kid feels like you are lost, but being able to say and be adopted gives you the reassurance that you are loved, you have a home, and you have people by your side. Jude is Callie's younger brother, of course, and he had to deal with most of the backlash of what Callie would decide to do, whether it was good decisions or bad decisions. Jude is a lot more of an introvert, like Peter Page. He would usually stay quiet and enjoy the little things that each foster home gave him, whether it was food, water, or even good company. But the one foster home that really stuck to him in more of a negative way, that was when he got beat for wearing a dress. When he moved in with the Fosters, Lena and Steph, he asked to paint his nails and started to express how he felt towards males. It was a very positive experience due to him getting a boyfriend a couple months after. But even through the hard times, Jude always managed to have a good conscience and a bright outlook on life. It wasn't until the Fosters that he finally found his forever home that he always deserved. Quote, often teens report the same lack of tolerance and acceptance in foster care. Vanessa Fuentes, now 26, remembers being called names and getting beat up in a group home for identifying as a transgender. Most of the time, I ended up spending time alone walking the streets of New York City because I did not want to come home, Fuentes recalls. Peter Page, the author of this heartfelt series, had a personal connection with foster care, and being able to understand how someone might feel alone in the foster care system. Even though Peter Page was not in the system himself, he had a best friend who was in the system until her senior year of high school. She was a broken girl like Callie and got in a lot of trouble with the law. When she found her forever family, like the Fosters, who treated her like one of her own, she really turned into her own. Her struggles did not seem to be the only thing on her mind, but learning to succeed and bettering herself was her overall goal. Callie was supposed to represent his best friend's life, her struggles, and her personal feelings on her life. The quote stated, I kind of forgot about it somewhere along the way. When we started talking about the show, a lot of those memories, a lot of those experiences came back to me. So yes, I did have a close connection to it, said Peter Page. He also had a personal connection to Steph and Lena. He wished that he could have been there for his friend the way the Fosters were there for Callie, also adding the fact that he is gay, and that is why Jude is gay, and that he is the one who follows Callie and tries to give the best input to better her life. Quote, when I hear how our family in the series so closely resembles their family, no matter the shape, no matter the color, no matter the size, no matter if there are two moms, a dad, two dads, or even a mom and dad. This is our forever home. In conclusion, The Fosters was created to show how many Americans never take into consideration our foster care system and the long-lasting effects it has on people in the system or even out of the system. Many people end up getting hurt. Many people feel alone. Many people need to be checked up on. Peter Page created this show, The Fosters, to show awareness to his best friend's struggles growing up, along with her accomplishments, all the things that she strived for, her goals, her ambitions. Additionally, to explain the LGBTQ community and to normalize gay marriage like it should be. This text is a text that is worth studying due to the needed measures that are taken when deciding to take a child out of a home or even to keep them in a home. One little mistake can harm a life or save a life. It's a big decision in so little words. So many people you'll impact in minimal words. One mistake, one life gone, or another one saved.